I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord's Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the I.S.U.P.K. down in Florida. I'm Captain of 10,000 Shamoy Yalo. We here to let you know the 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, the palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022 is going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. It's not about the money, it's the principle. Gotta watch who you revere, who you listen to. I speak the Easter, so my flow medicinal. And I buried the old man, now I'm invincible. Gotta be wise in judgment, it's critical. Either couple with this brotherhood or you'll get ridiculed. The greatest man, the greatest servant, I kill for who I minister to. And I'm going war, nigga, win or lose. Hey, I was forged from the fire, torn from the liar. If hand join in hand, you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Become a casualty of chance. I'm in my stance, still in hand, ready to swing it like a lance. If the enemy advance, I'ma enhance. Had the benefit of the doubt, he never had a chance. Hey, this the shit that they beg for, that burn down the wicked Judge Dredd flow. Bitch, I am the law. Dog faced it, prepared for war.
I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. They can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun.
I see what they say. Never envy a carnal man. Claim they real, they actions don't match what they saying. I got the upper hand, what you don't understand, youngin'. I'd rather bleed than concede, now they're saying something. These niggas cunning, they want my power, they never take it from me. Hey, for that money, I heard you assisted. They can't go out like that, they'll have to 86 me.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alathan by Hashem, Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we've been teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth of the Bible since 1969, man. The truth of the Bible. And today is I.S.U.P.K. San Antonio Wednesday Biblical Law class, man. It's the biblical law class. And today is the obeying the laws of God. You know, last week we talked about obeying the laws of God. This week we're going to talk about obeying the laws of God and the punishment that comes along with breaking of God's laws, right? Because like with any nation on the planet, they have laws and they have things to keep that nation intact. And the Lord gave us laws also. The Lord gave us laws and rules and regulations and things that we should do and that we should not do. All right, the Lord gave us laws and things that we should do and we should not do. And if it wasn't for us trying to follow all the other nations, we would have stock in our own laws and our own and our own culture and our own statutes and our own commandments that the Lord gave us. But we want to follow all the other laws of God. I mean, we don't want to follow all the other heathen nations. We don't want to follow what God says. We want to be like we don't want to be what God made us to be, right? Which is Yasha Allah, princes of the power. We want to be like heathen nations. We want to be like them. We'd rather do what they do, which is against God. Everything that all the other nations do is against God, man. It's against the Most High, and it's against our power. And it would behoove us that we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans keep our culture. That way the Lord can be back on our side. Because right now the Lord isn't on our side. The Lord is punishing us. What's going on, sis? Sister Vanessa Vega in the building. It's almost time to hear for your Hebrew name, ain't it? But yeah, it'd behoove us to keep the laws of God and to do what the Most High said for us to do. So let's go ahead and start out with the book of Romans. Get this off. One second, let me pull it up. We're gonna start out with the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. Boy. It is hot. Right. So we're going to start out with the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4, right? Because how else do we go and find out what the Lord requires of us if we don't go back into the book of the Lord? Right? If we don't go back into the book of the Lord, how can we go and require what the Lord requires of us? How can we inquire about that? If not, we're just going on our own vain thoughts, leaning onto our own understanding, which we should not lean onto our own understanding. We should lean on to what the Lord says. We should lean on to what our power says, man. And he ordained his son Christ to come and show us how to keep the laws of God. He sent his son down here to show us how to be perfect, man. Christ told us to be perfect, man, like his Father in heaven is perfect, right? So he sent Christ down here to show us how to be perfect, man. All right. So the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4, it says, "Whatsoever things were written aforetime," right? Because you know what was written aforetime? Those laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Those was written aforetime. Those was written before the New Testament, before what we're going through right now, before the transatlantic slave trade, before all of that. Those laws, statutes, and commandments was written, and before that, they was given orally as an oral tradition from Adam all the way down. It was given to them, man, as instructions, man. Instructions on how you should live your life, who you should sleep with, who you should be with or not be with. There's laws on how you deal with your brother. There's laws on how you deal with your wife. There's laws on how you deal with the heathen nations. There's laws on how you deal with your brother in business. There's laws on everything. There's laws on how you should dress, what you should eat. There's laws on everything, man. And us being Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's why we should keep the laws of God so we can show the rest of the world, right? We can show the rest of the world what they should eat. Because now they're eating bats and pangolin and horses. Horses are vehicles. Horses aren't food. If anyone should know that. Horses are not food. Horses are vehicles. But there's people that eat horses. Why? Because they don't know what to eat, because they don't have any instruction from God. and they hate instruction. So that's how you know what the Lord is inquiring of you, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. The Lord is inquiring you to do things that are that are righteous and right towards the Lord, or that are evil and wrong towards the Lord. These laws, statutes, and commandments that are written in the Old Testament, they give us a sense of what's right and what's wrong. They give us a morality standard to live up to. That's what they do. They give us a morality standard to live up to. But we, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, us being Israelites, we are stiff-necked and rebellious. We are stiff-necked and rebellious. We are stiff-necked and rebellious. And it's up to priests and prophets of the Lord to come and set things right. Set things right. How can I say this? Set things right again. Because now everything is wrong. They tell you that pork is the other white meat. They tell you pork is good for you to eat. At the same time, they tell you pork is good for you to eat. At the same time, they're telling you that pork gives you high blood pressure. Same time they tell you that pork is the other white meat and good for you to eat. The same time they tell you that they put videos on YouTube that shows you that pork that when pork has parasites in it that lead up to your brain. Right? And it causes to have worms in your brain. At the same time as they tell you pork is the other white meat, they tell you pork is one of the most filthiest animals on the planet. They're lying to you and telling you the truth at the same exact time. Ain't that something? But how about we just stay away from it because our Lord said so. Our power said so. Our God said so. Said to stay away from eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. They tell you that shrimp, crab, and lobster is a delicacy that you big ball and shot calling if you can afford shrimp, crab, and lobster. If you can go get some crab legs, you big ball and shot calling. That's why when all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans get those food stamps that the white man gives you as gifts. Remember, they say don't let a gift destroy the heart. The first thing we do is go get seafood or go get a shrimp, crab, lobster, right? And we have a big crab boil and all that. That's the first thing we do when we get that is when we get our food stamps is we disobey our God. Disobey our God. Same thing with money. First thing you do when you get money is you disobey your God. When you get money, first thing we do, right, is we go buy drugs. We go buy drugs and whores. And we just got to keep it. We just got to keep it real with you. Because if we don't keep it real with you, if we don't tell you the truth, who else is going to tell you the truth? Not your Christian pastor. Your Christian pastor is not going to tell you the truth. The Christian pastor is not going to tell you the truth. Who's going to tell you the truth? The so-called white man? The devil that the Bible speaks of, he's going to tell you the truth? Who's going to tell you the truth? The Chinese people that's selling you the shrimp, crab, and lobster? Who's going to tell you the truth? The Chinese man will sell you rat. Chop up rat, put some orange chicken sauce on it, and tell you that it's orange chicken. And we'll be right there every week eating that Chinese food. That's going to kill us, man. That's going to kill us, man. Oh, 1 second. There it is. It's going to kill us, man. So whatever was written aforetime, right, was written for our learning. We're meant to learn from these things. We're not meant to see these things and repeat them. We're meant to we're meant to see these things, right, and stray away from it, not go to it, right? Because a wise man will learn from another man's mistakes. So we read in our ancestors' mistakes, right? and we can go and we can not repeat those same exact things that got us in this predicament of punishment from our power in the first place. All right. So it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime was written for our learning. Get that back up there. Was written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. Because that's where we get our hope from, is from the scriptures, man. That's where we get our hope from, is from the scriptures. We can read those scriptures, and we can see that every time we disobeyed our power, the Lord came and we went into, the Lord punished us, and we went into captivity under another nation. But every time we came back to our power, right, and started keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments again, that the Lord came and rescued us and put us back in our land. And we seen that over and over and over and over again in the Bible. We've seen that over and over again. So we can have hope and pay and we can have hope through the scriptures, and comfort through the scriptures, that the Lord is going to come back, and he's going to do the same thing that he did in America that he did in Egypt. That he's going to bring his people out of America, just like he brought us out of Egypt. Who's that? Oh, what's up, sis? Sister Dominique, what's going on? You all right? All right. To all. Right. So we can have that understanding that the same thing that he did in Egypt, he's going to do in America, which is bring us out of captivity. He's going to bring us out of captivity into our own land, where we can have rulership, man. We can have rulership over these heathen nations, and these heathen nations will not have rulership over us no longer. No longer. You know what I mean? So that's how we have comfort through the scriptures, man. But we have to go back into the Old Testament, find out what the laws is. That's why it's important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to tune in the Sabbath service, man. Every Sabbath service, we start at 11 o'clock. Every Sabbath service, every Saturday, you should be in Sabbath service. That way you can learn your culture, man. Learn your history, learn your laws, statutes, and commandments. Learn the and at the same time, we're learning the Lashawan Kodash. We're reading it in the Lashawan Kodash and in the English, man. We're reading it in the ancient Paleo Hebrew and in the English, man. That way we can understand that English is not our language. Spanish is not our language. French is not our language. Portuguese is not our language. What they speaking? I don't know, but they always talk about the Metuaneta. The Metuaneta. That's not our language, man. The Metuaneta is not our language. Our language is the Lashawan Kodash. That's our language, man. That's our language from the Lord, man. That's the holy tongue, man. All right. Verse 5, it says, now the God of patience and consolation grants you to be like-minded one toward another, right? According to Yahushua Mashiach. So we have to be like-minded, man. We have to be like-minded. One person can't be over here talking about Christianity the way, one talking about Islam is the way, and one talking about Buddhism is the way, and one talking about Rastafarianism is the way, and we all come to a common agreement. We have to come to a common agreement under our culture, which is the Bible and these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's why it's important to know who the 12 tribes and who the 12 tribes of Israel is, the lost 12 tribes of Israel. That's why it's important, man. It's very important for that. It's very important for that because us knowing that we're the lost tribes of Israel, we have a common ground, a common understanding, right? That's why we go out there and blaze on the so-called white man all the time, on the devil all the time, the oppressor all the time, is because we have a common enemy. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have a common enemy, right? What really is, all these heathen nations are common enemies, but we have a common enemy right here in America, a common oppressor right here in America, man. We have a common oppressor, a common enemy that destroys all of us and murders all of us, like he ain't got no sense, which he doesn't have any sense. and he doesn't know, and he knows who he's murdering. He knows that we're the 12 tribes of Israel. The white man knows who he's murdering, so he's just basically starting beef with the Most High. Right, he's just basically starting beef with the Most High. The white man started beef with the Most High by oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's starting beef with the Most High, and that's something that and that's some beef that he can't grill up. That's some beef that he can't box out. He can't fight that. He can't fight that battle. That's a war that he can't win. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a war that he can't win against the Most High, man. He's gonna try, but it's not gonna work. You dig? Right? So it said we have to be like-minded. And the only way we can come to a common understanding and a common ground is by coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the only thing, man. If it's not validated by the law, man, it don't even really exist. You feel me? You feel me? Like, we do it all the time here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We have discussions where we don't know this, where we don't know that, and it's always verified by the law. You know what I mean? If the law says it, that's who wins. And it's very and that's very simplistic, because like the scriptures say, let God be true and every man a liar. So it don't even matter. It don't even matter what we think. If it's in the law, hey, it's validated. Stamped. Boom. The Lord already stamped it by putting it in the law. Drinking water out of my fancy wine glass. Yeah, you know. But yeah, it's not even validated by the law, man. I mean, it has to be validated by the law. That's why today is Wednesday biblical law class. And if our people wasn't so stiff-necked and rebellious and didn't care about what the Lord said, we wouldn't have to have law class every Wednesday. We wouldn't have to have brotherhood class every Tuesday. But we have to have class every Tuesday and every Wednesday for brotherhood, because that's a very important way of keeping the oppression from getting to us, to frustrate us so much. And we have to have the law class because that's what's going to bring us back to the Most High. And brotherhood is in the law. Just to let you know, that brotherhood, that understanding of brotherhood is inside of the law. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that real fast. Let's get that real fast. We're gonna go to Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Oh, so I can. Screen. All right, let's get that now, because that's in the law, man. Brotherhood is actually in the law for everybody that didn't know about it. Well, you're gonna know now, right? There's a book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. And remember, if you wanna, you should be having your notes, your pen out, your pad, writing these scriptures down. Because one day you're gonna get asked about these, about this black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. You're gonna get asked about this, and you're gonna have to know these scriptures so you can go ahead and defend it, man. You can go ahead and get to understand it, man. All right. Hey, man, go ahead. So it says, the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. It says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Right? We shouldn't hate our brother in our heart, or our sisters in our heart. You know what I mean? I know some brothers, they just 12. All right. I know some brothers, they hate their baby mamas. Some sisters, they hate their baby daddies. But you got to realize that that they're that they're not in the truth. You know what I mean? They're not in the truth. So just because we've had our past relationships or this that with that brother or that sister or something like that, and you have to realize in your mind that they need the same compassion that we give everybody else in the world. They need the same compassion. And brothers, I brothers and sisters, I know how it is. You know what I mean? About people in the world and this, that, and the third. Like sometimes a black man or Hispanic man or a Native American man or a black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman just needs an ounce of brotherhood or sisterhood, and it'll change their whole output or what they think about life. I don't know what the hell that is. It'll change their whole output and thought process on the way they look at blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because we've been taught to hate ourselves, and by being taught how to hate ourselves, we've been taught how to hate everybody that looks like you and acts like you. We've been taught that. We've been taught that over and over again, man. So now it's going to take extra teaching and extra understanding to get that mind state out of your mind. That's like knowing Yahushua is black. We know Jesus Christ is black, right? But it still takes time to get that image out of your mind, because you have, let's say you come into truth at the age of 21, right? And you 2 years old, in you 2 years in the truth, right? You was in the world for 21 years, and now you in the truth for 2 years, and you think your 2-year-old self is stronger than your 21-year-old self. You know what I mean? It's still going to take more washing of the brain. It's going to take more classes, more brotherhood. You know what I mean? It's going to take more doing the work of the Lord to get that 2-year-old. You're a baby in the truth by being 2 years old. You're a baby in the truth versus your 21-year-old person. That 21-year-old person was filthy, but smoking weed and cigarettes and messing with whores and sleeping with different men, and you know what I mean? It was doing all the wickedness. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter's, birthdays. It was doing all the wickedness. And you come in the truth for 2 years and think that you solved. No, you still have to fight the worldly lust. You still have to fight that thing. And it's going to take brotherhood to help you fight it. Real talk. Only brotherhood can help you fight that. Right? And it's only going to take brotherhood to help you fight that, man. Brotherhood and sisterhood, man. That's what's going to help you fight them battles, man. Straight up. So before you go into the world and go back into the world, before you start to sin again, before you pick up that weed, before you have sex with that whore, call the men above you. Call your brothers. Call the men above you. Just call them. Talk to them. Tell him what's going on. He's going to talk you off the ledge, because that's right there. That you're on the ledge right then. You're about to jump off the bridge. And then that brother will talk you off the ledge, man. Do not fight your battles by yourself. And really, if you're trying to fight the demon by yourself, you really hate your brother. You really hate your brother. Because before you will fight that demon by yourself, you'll call your brother and show him that you love your brother by leaning on him, and he'll be happy to show you how much he loves you by showing you brotherhood. So if you want to fight that demon by yourself, that's really hating your brother. Just to let you know. And it says, "Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor." Right? So there it is. Your brother is your neighbor. And he said you should rebuke him. You should correct your neighbor, man. You should not let him suffer sin, man. Once you see him start to go off and start to sin, man, you got to let him know. You got to Matthew 18 and 15. Because if you don't Matthew 18 and 15, man, and he ends up going back into the world, that's on you. Because you've seen him doing wrong. You've seen something was wrong with his spirit. You've seen something was wrong with her spirit. And you didn't say nothing. You didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't tell that brother or sister, hey, you twab, you good? What's going on, sis? You all right? What's going on, brother? You good? You know what I mean? And it says, and not suffer sin upon him. That's what it means. Not suffer sin upon him. Not to, what would you say? When you see him going off, and you know sin is coming right after that. When a brother or sister starts to go off, sin is coming right after that. Right after that, that demon, that he's looking, he and she is looking like that because the demon is on his shoulder or her shoulder. The demon is right here. The demon is right here. Smoke that weed. Smoke that weed. Have sex with that whore. Go do that. It ain't nothing but Christmas, man. You know what I'm talking about? Christmas is good. Giving gifts is okay. And that demon is right here, man. That demon is right here. And it's up to brotherhood. It's up to the brothers and sisters and to help fight that demon. Get that demon off of your brother's shoulder. Real talk. Verse 18, it says, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. And you see this a lot in gangs, man. You see this a lot in gangs. Because Pookie shot Ray Ray, and Ray and Pookie from a different gang. Get this off the screen, somebody. And it says Pookie and Ray from a different gang, man. And they from over there, and they from this block, and 63rd, and whatever, and whatever. Since that bro died, and that guy dies, now everybody got to die. The Lord said, we learned that from the white man anyway. We learned that from our oppressors anyway. You ever seen that movie Gangs in New York? They were the first gangs. We learned gang banging. We learned gang banging from our oppressors. We learned gang banging from our oppressors, man. You ever seen you ever heard of Democrats and Republicans? Democrats and Republicans go at each other like gang members. They go at each other like gang members. And we learned that not loving our brother from the oppressor. How do we know Donald Trump was when they was running for election? How Donald Trump was touching? What can I say? Touching boxes. Because the other party brought it out. How do we know Joe Biden was a pedophile? Because the other party had brought it out. They made the videos. They showed it. So we learned that hating our brother, right, from the oppressors. And then you ever seen, and then what colors do Democrats use? Red. And the Republicans use blue. Now, as a people, what colors do we choose as gangs? Red and blue. So we learned that from our oppressors, man. You ever that movie Gangs in New York? They had the American, what would you call it? The American different American gangs. They were wearing blue, and then the immigrant groups were wearing red. It's all psychological, man. It's all psychological. That's why that they say that the weapons of our war is not carnal. You know what I mean? We in a psychological war, man. A spiritual war. Everything on TV is telling you to break the laws of God. Everything on the radio is telling you to break the laws of God. All the music that these people promote is telling you to smoke weed, mess with whores. You know what I mean? Sisters, use what you got to get what you want. Brothers, have sex with that sister and leave that sister. Have sex with your brother's wife. It's telling you that's all that music is nowadays. That's all it's telling you. That's all it's telling you. And there's a few good ones and all that there's a few okay music that don't promote that, but majority of the music is that. Everything on TV telling you to sell drugs. And then on the TV, the drug dealer gets all the women. They get all the women. All the women desires the drug dealer. Like there's anything good that can come from that, except death. Oh, death and prison. And that's real talk, man. And that's real talk. That's it, man. Everything in life is telling you to break the laws of God and act like a heathen. And to just act like you ain't got no sense in life. And act like you ain't got no sense in life. Like you're just a heathen. But really, you're the greatest thing God ever made on this planet, man. You are the salt of the earth, man. Right? So it says, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Right? You should love your neighbor as yourself, man. That's what we should do, man. We should love our brothers and our sisters as we love ourselves. And I know, as you being you loving yourself, you're not gonna put nothing harmful in your body like drugs and cigarettes and pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You're not gonna take that chance of sleeping with that whore and getting those AIDS. Right? You're not gonna be doing things like that. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Because you love yourself, right? So you should love your brother the same exact way, or you should love your sister the same exact way, man. That's a part of keeping our culture together. And I can tell you right now, there's no nation on the planet that has laws like this. There's no nation on the planet that has laws that keep brotherhood like this in their community, man. Nobody. There's nobody. Like, the Most High loved us so much that He sent His Son down here to sacrifice Himself to bring to bring us Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans back together. Meanwhile, right now, the white man is over there in Russia and Ukraine. They're the same people, speak the same language. You know what I'm talking about? Just 50, not even 50. It was more like 30 years ago. 30 years ago, this Ukraine and Russia was one nation. And now Russia is bombing Ukraine. Boom, 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 boom. And then Ukraine is fighting back and America's pushing it. America's helping them fight back and helping like you know, all these Edomites it's supposed to be one nation. Right? All these Edomites, because they come from the same stock, right? Which is Esau, right? They came from the same stock, and they're helping each other fight each other and kill each other. You know what I mean? Because they're helping the same people fight each other because that's how they work. Like Japanese and Chinese people, they're the same people. Same thing with Taiwan and Korea. They're all the same people, right? Come from the same stock, but they're all over there fighting each other and the Koreans don't like the Filipinos, and the Chinese don't like the Japanese, and Taiwan Korea, like nobody likes it, like and it makes no sense. And it makes no sense, but they're heathen nations. They don't have a power like ours to make sure that we love each other. Because our power makes sure that we love each other. Hey, what's up, System Rhyme? You to walk? Because our people love each other, man. And we learned that from the other nations. But right now, you see Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we coming back together, man. La Raza. Real talk. La Raza is back together, man. We are together. in this, and we are not fighting each other no more. It's right now. It's time that we stop that we stop that. Real talk. And we are coming back together, man. We are coming back together. We're coming to a common agreement, a common understanding that we are the 12 tribes of Israel. Look in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge now. Ain't that right, sis? Ain't that right, Sister Mariah? Right. You know what I'm talking about? We are coming back together. We are back to being one stick. You know what I'm talking about? We're back to being the Yashala, princes and princesses of the power. That is what we are doing. All right, we can drop that. Let's get Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. Let me get that here. Hold on one second. Bear with me. Book of Matthew. Boy. Oh, that's all we're gonna do, you know. Right. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, right, verse 24. Hold on, let me get there with y'all. Oh, goodness. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. It says, but he answered and said, that he's there, man, is Yahushua, man. Yahushua Mashiach. Y'all can see it on the screen. Red letters, man. Yahushua Mashiach. And the Lord said this, man. The Lord said this, right? He said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. See, all these scriptures, all these brotherhood, all these laws, statutes, and commandments are not for nobody else but Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It's only for the children of Israel. That's why he said, I am not sent. You know what I mean? I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's the only people that he sent to, is to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Nobody else, man. Nobody else. Nobody else. And Christ came for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, to show us how to keep the law, man. To show us how to be perfect. To show us that if I can do it, you can do it. That's what Christ came for, man. And he only came for the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. I gotta keep alliterating that, because everybody always seems like they take that John 3:16 scripture and just blow it all out of proportion, like they do everything else. And all, I don't know why they put specifics on certain words, but I guess they learned that in theology school, where they didn't teach them the Bible, but they taught them theology. We're going to read that one more time. It says, but he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right. From there, I just want to get that real quick. Now we're going to get what Christ said about the law. Because the Christian pastor are going to say, oh, the laws are done away with. You don't got to keep the laws. But au contraire, Christ says something different. Yahushua Mashiach, my king, says something different. And Yahushua Mashiach is not slow. He is not slow. He is not unlearned or anything like that. He knows the scriptures and he knows what his job was. It's only the Christian pastor that don't know what his job is, what his job's supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's why he's always perverting the scriptures. And like First Timothy or like Titus 1:11 says that their mouths must be stopped. You know what I mean? They must be stopped. Because they pervert whole houses, man. Teaching things that they ought not to teach. Talking about the law is done away with. How can the law be done away with when the law was here before us and the law is going to be here after us? The most high dedicated the first 5 books to putting laws and regulations and ordinances in play, right? In play for us to be a nation, for us to be great. Greatest thing on us to be the greatest thing on this planet. And then we just gonna get to Christ and now all the laws are done away with. The whole Bible is talking about us not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and going into captivity and getting out of captivity by keeping those law, statutes, and commandments. And now the Most High is going to do away with all that. It just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. But the reason why they do that is because they want to go sleep with the little children. They want to go sleep with the brothers' wives. They want to go, you know what I mean? They want to go smoke weed and smoke cigarettes and be just the most wickedest, filthy person that they can be. To act like animals and heathens and creatures, man. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They want to go act like filthy animal creatures, just the wickedest of the wicked of the wicked. That's what they want to do. So they got to tell you that the laws are done away with. So they can be justified in their unrighteousness. They're justified in their evilness by saying that the laws are done away with. And then they say, well, we all have sinned. Yeah, we all have sinned, but not everybody sins. We all have sinned before, but not everybody is sinning. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to take they don't want to take self-accountability. That's why they don't want to take self-accountability, but they have to take self-accountability when Yahushua Mashiach comes back. When the King comes back, everybody has to take self-accountability for everything that they did, and everything that they was doing, and everything that they have to take self-accountability. That's why the I.S.U.P.K is sent here to destroy these religions, destroy these false idols. Everything that's that's on the planet that's against the Most High, the Lord has set up the I.S.U.P.K and commanding General Yohana and the I.S.U.P.K to destroy it, to destroy all the altars of the other gods. That's why the Lord ordained us, so we can destroy all these false doctrines. Right? This is where we at? Hey man, hey. Matthew 5:17. It says, "Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets." Right? That's what Christ said. Christ said, think not. Don't think it. Don't even try to put that little piece of understanding in your head that I've come to destroy the law. Right? That's what Christ said. Christ said, I ain't come to destroy the law. Everything in the law is still needs to be abide by and played and obeyed. Everything still needs to be obeyed. That's what Yahushua Mashiach is saying. That's what our King is saying, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. Right? It says, think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy. Right? He said he didn't come to destroy anything that the prophet said either, including Moses, man. So everything that the prophet said is still in play also. Then you're gonna tell him, I am not come to destroy. So Christ didn't come to destroy the law, man. Christ didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. He didn't come to destroy none of that. Just to let you know. So he said he has not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Right? To fulfill, man. Christ came to fulfill the law, man. He came to fulfill the things in the law that was written about him in the Old Testament. About how he was going to die for his brother's sins. You don't know who that is. Right? How he was going to die for his people, man. That was written of him in the Old Testament, man. So he came to fulfill that. Because if he didn't, he would make Moses, and then Moses would be a liar. Right? The Isaiah would be a liar. All those brothers in the Old Testament that wrote about Christ would be liars. But Christ came and did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. Now it's time for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to do their job and keep the oath that they made with the Most High. It's time for us to do that. That's what it's time for. We've tried everything else. We've tried being Buddhist. We've tried being Pan-Africanists. We've tried being Rastafarians and Christians and Muslims and worshiping Shiva, and we tried it. We tried it all. We've tried being criminals. We've tried doing it like the oppressors. We've tried doing it everything. The only thing we have not tried to do is keep the law, statutes, and commandments as a nation. That's the only thing. That's the only thing we haven't tried yet. Why don't we try the Lord for once? Why don't we try the Lord for once, man? Just once, man. Why don't we just try it? That way we can be free, man. But we don't want to try the Lord because we like being slaves. We like getting shot down in the streets. We like abortion clinics in our neighborhoods. We like doing drugs. We like having sex with whores. We like doing all these different things that are plaguing us. Right? And I don't think any brother that's in the school that stopped eating pork stop eating pork because it wasn't delicious. You know what I mean? I don't think any brother or any sister in the school wanted to stop smoking weed, but we did it because we had to if we wanted this kingdom, man. We did it because we wanted to serve the Lord, man. You have to make a choice to serve the Lord or not. Either you're going to believe this Bible or you're going to believe your religion. That's what it is. Either you're going to believe the Bible or you're going to believe the religion. You know what I mean? And we should take a look back. We should take a look back into our history so we can see all the things that we had when we at least tried to keep our laws, man. To see everything that we accomplished when we kept our laws, statutes, and commandments, man. By the building of the second temple. You know what I mean? The bringing down of Egypt, man. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that happened, which we're about to celebrate. Passover's coming up. Passover's coming up. April 15th, Cocoa Beach, Florida. Don't miss it. But yeah, man, that's the things that we have to make that choice, man. And it's really an easy choice. It shouldn't be so hard because if we hate the way Ahmaud Arbery got chased down and murdered on camera, right? If we hate the fact that Trayvon Martin got murdered on camera, right? If we hate the fact that George Floyd got murdered on camera, and all these things are getting, we hate the fact that Emmett Till, 15-year-old boy, was beaten upside his head till his mother couldn't recognize him. If we hate the fact that Tamir Rice, a little 14-year-old boy, was shot dead. We hate the fact that Kevin Johnson on the west side of San Antonio was shot 9 times in his back. If we hate the fact that when his mother needed some answers about what happened to her son, they pepper sprayed her. The police pepper sprayed her. If we hate things like that, right? Then then the choice is easy, and that we should come back to our power and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The choice is easy. Hey, what's up, young man Darius? Art, you Tawab? Right. And if anybody have any questions, man, they could go ahead and put them in the chat. If you have any questions, we could put them in the chat. Well, yeah, if you hate the oppression that happens to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans right here in America, then you should join. You should join the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Don't just sit on the sidelines. You should get in this school, learn, be in class, learn these law, statutes, and commandments, learn your culture. That way we can get from under this oppressor, and we can get to our rulership. We can bring Christ back. We can bring Christ here. Christian church is waiting on Christ, but here we're trying to keep law, statutes, and commandments and trying to change the world, right? So when Christ comes, we can hand it to him. Y'all, Bashim your sharp thumb, sir. We conquered this city for you, and this city, and that city, and that city, and this country, and that country. We conquered all this for you, and deliver it to, right, and deliver it to our King. We conquered this for you, sir. Conquered this for you, Ottawa. All right. So if we hate the oppression, we might as well join. We might as well do all that we can be all that we can be for the Lord. Let's say that. Let's be all that we can be for the Lord, man. Because we go when we go into the United States military, right? We go be all that we can be for America. We be all that we can be for America. We be all that we can be for them drugs. We be all that. Will Smith was all that he can be at the Oscars for his whore. Right? Why come we can't be all that we can be for our King, man? For Yahushua Mashiach, a black man from the tribe of Judah, man, that gave his life for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Why can't we be all that we can be for our Lord, our God, man? Why can't we do that? Be all that we can be for that. Because we don't want to. As a people, we don't want to. We like staying in sin. Right? Verse 18, it says, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law." Right? Because that's what he's saying now. He's saying until heaven and earth pass. And we look up and see heaven every day, and every day there's we walk on earth, man. Every day we walk on the ground that we walk on, and there's heaven above, like, and it has not passed. So why is they talking about the laws done away with? Why are they talking about the laws done away with? They're talking about the laws done away with because they just want to be wicked, filthy animals, man. That's it. That's all they want to be. Right? And then it says, till all be fulfilled. And all is not fulfilled, man, because World War III is just now jumping off. We have to wait for the rest of World War III. All has been fulfilled yet, man, because the 12 tribes of Israel are not all back together, man. All has not been fulfilled, man, because Christ hasn't came back. Yahushua Mashiach has not cracked them skies yet. That's why it says till all be fulfilled, man. Nothing shall in no wise pass from the law. So all the law is still in effect, man. All the law is still in effect. Verse 19, it says, "Whosoever shall break one of these least commandments," right? So what's a least commandment? What's the least commandment? Not rocking your beard, not wearing your fringes, What's the least commandment? Not wearing a garment, not making it the Passover. What's the least commandment, man? Give me some least commandments. They're going to say, oh, Christmas is a least commandment. No, man. Christmas is not a commandment. Not to do Christmas is a commandment. That's a big commandment, actually. But what's the least commandment, man? Fellas, how about lineups? Lineup is the least commandment. Oh, it's just nothing. I'm just getting lined up, man. Looking, you know what I mean? No. These are least commandments, man. Least commandments. Small commandments to break. So don't break those small commandments, because breaking those small commandments will lead you to breaking bigger commandments. It's like a gateway drug. Let me say that. Breaking those small commandments, the least commandments, are like a gateway drug. It'll lead you to breaking the bigger commandments. You understand? So it says, whoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, right? So if you break these least commandments and then teach men so, like the Christian church does, because they tell them that the laws are done away with, they don't have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They can come in here and do whatever they want to do and be this and be that and do all types of wickedness. That's what they tell them. Oh, there it is. That's what they tell them. It's okay to do that. It's okay to be this. It's okay to be that. No, it's not. Right? So, and teach men so. So you teach men how to break commandments. Oh, Salakia. He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. He should be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, man. Gonna be the at the bottom of the bottom in the kingdom of heaven, man. Because he want to teach men how to break the law, statutes, and commandments. Then it says, but whosoever shall do and teach, right? So doing the commandments is just the least of it. It says do and teach them, right? So if you want to, so you do the commandments and then you teach brothers and sisters how to do the commandments also. You do the commandments and you teach brothers and sisters how to do the commandments. You teach them the commandments. You teach them how to stay away from drugs. You teach them how to stay away from cigarettes. Teach them how to stay away from whores. Teach them how to stay away from Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. You teach them why they should do it. Right? You give them that. You give them that knowledge and that understanding. Right? The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. I mean, you're gonna get a crown, man. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, you're going to get a crown. And black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman, you're going to get a man with a crown. You ain't gonna get Pookie and Ray Ray, drug dealers, and that Tyrone that beat on you and doing coke, doing coke and heroin and smoking crack and all this extra. You're not gonna get that. You're gonna get you a righteous priest with a crown. But there's stipulations to it. Right? So they should be called great in the kingdom of heaven, man. Great. Let's go back. Where's that? No, there we go. All right, man. Now let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 36. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 36. Man, go. Oh my goodness, bro. This damn mouse tripping. Right? The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 36. All right, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 36. It says, and if thou seest a man of understanding, right? Because if you see a man of understanding, right? It says, get thee betimes unto him, right? Get thee betimes unto him. Get beside the man. Get up, get there. Get there where that man of understanding is, which is going to be a priest and prophet of the Lord, man. It's going to be a brother in the I.S.U.P.K, man. It says, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. Right? So if you get you an understanding, brother, you see an understanding, brother, right? If you see an understanding, man, like you find out what he knows, and you do what he says. Whatever he says, he might tell you, hey, go around there and go get 50 packs of ramen noodles. You know what I'm talking about? Go over there and go get 3 cases, 4 or 5, go get 4 or 5 cases of ramen noodles. Go get a pallet of water. Go get 150 pounds of rice, 150 pounds of beans. You do it. You do it. You do it. You get all the knowledge that he has. You do it. Right? You wear out his doorstep. Wear out his phone. You let that man have dominion over your soul. So like you let that man have dominion over your soul. Every little problem, you call him. Hey, Salaki, sir. Shalom, Yahabashim Yashar Patam. You know what I mean? Like you because he's gonna be there he's gonna be there for you between life and death. He can give you life, or you can not go get that knowledge and you can get death. That's it. He's the man that's gonna give you life or death, man. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all I can say about that. Verse 37. It says, let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, right? So let your mind be up under the ordinances of the Lord, the orders of the Lord. Right? Your mind should be up under the orders of the Lord, understanding of the Lord. Right? And it says, and meditate continually in his commandments. Right? So you meditate continually in his commandments, man. In the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, you meditate in those things, man. You understand those things. You try to figure out the best possible way how you can keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And keep your mind off all the BS and the malarkey that's in the world. Because there's a whole bunch of BS and malarkey in the world. And you gotta watch what you watch on TV. Because those what do you call it? Those reality TV shows filled with whores and whoremongers. Those reality TV shows filled with drugs and prostitution and passing each other's wives around and sleeping with this man and that man, and like it's just not. It's not beneficiary to watch. It's not beneficiary to watch, and then you have to watch what your kids watch on TV. Because they could be pushing that ill, they could be pushing that homosexuality and ill drugs and things like that in the TV. In the TV, they could be pushing that through they could be pushing that through their cartoons, man. Through their cartoons. You ever seen that episode of SpongeBob when he licked the man, I forgot what he licked, but his eyes turned all bugged out and he was on drugs under the sea. He was on drugs under the sea, man. Real talk. And that's what kids are watching. That's what kids are watching. A junky SpongeBob. Right? And it says, he shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thy own desire. Right? So he's going to give you wisdom at your own desire, but you have to meditate. You have to be willing to go over scriptures and read the scriptures and understand what was going on then and understand what's going on now. You have to be willing. You can't be like everybody in the world. I don't want to talk about that. Why don't you want to talk about it? Because they're wicked. Because they're doing wickedness. They don't want to be convicted. But it don't matter if they don't want to be convicted or not. When Christ returns, he's gonna convict them anyway. Because the wages of sin is death, man. They're gonna convict them anyway, man. The wages of sin is death, man. You are sure, and it didn't say you might die. You are surely to die, man. We are surely to die. We don't change our ways, man. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, you have to humble yourself to the laws of God, man. What's that scripture? Pride goes before the fall. You don't want to be prideful, man, and fall when Christ returns, man. You don't want to be prideful in that way. It says pride goeth before a fall, man. All right. What in the world? Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Proverbs 1:7 real fast. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. It's my joint. Right. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Right? So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, man. That's the beginning of the understanding, man. Is the fear of the Lord. How do you fear the Lord? By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you fear the Lord. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, man. That's how you gain knowledge. That's how you know things. Because to know is the root word of knowledge. To know is the root word of knowledge, man. Right? So it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. For fools despise wisdom. Right? So if you despise the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord and despise this Bible, the Bible says you're a fool. You're a fool. Because it says fools despise wisdom and instruction. And that's what the law, statutes, and commandments are. The law, statutes, and commandments are the instructions of the Lord. And the Lord just called you a fool. How do we feel about that? Because only fools despise wisdom, despise real wisdom. They'll take this. What can I say? They'll take this. They'll take the Bible, right, and throw it all out. But then they'll read books from Steve Harvey, Think Like a Man, act like a lady, think like a man, and take that as wisdom. Right? They'll take that. They'll throw the Bible out, but then go get drugs and flip the drugs, and this is how you make drug money, and this and how you make crack and all that, and they'll take that as wisdom, but they'll throw the Bible out as wisdom. They'll throw the Bible out as wisdom, and then go take the 48 laws of Ma'at or whatever as wisdom. They'll take that. They'll take the Bible, throw the Bible out as wisdom, and they'll go take and they'll go take Christianity as wisdom. They'll go take it. They'll take everything else as wisdom except this Bible as wisdom, when the Bible is the only real wisdom on the planet. The Bible is the only real wisdom on the planet. The Bible, for at least for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, really for the world, because that's why the coronavirus out here. People want to eat bats and pangolins and rats because they don't have the wisdom and understanding that the Lord did not make rats and bats and pangolins for food, but they want to eat that. That's what they want to eat, and then they want to make YouTube videos about it, about an Asian girl just sitting there eating all types of wicked, disgusting things. People actually watch it. What is interesting about that? They'd rather watch that than watch the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge classes, because they don't want to. Because what it says, but fools despise wisdom. They despise wisdom. That's why they'll rather watch Basketball Wives, and is Basketball Wives still a thing? And Love and Hip Hop, and Kicking It with the Kardashians. I don't know if that's the name of it, but they'll watch all those reality TV shows and every new reality TV show. But what they're not going to watch is I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. They're not going to watch that class. They're not going to watch that class. Why are they not going to watch that class? Because they don't give a damn about wisdom and instruction. They just want to go be a filthy, disgusting whore, a filthy, disgusting drug dealer, a filthy, disgusting drug addict. That's all they want to do. A filthy, disgusting worshiper of all the other gods. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what you do when you worship these hell. Oh, Slovakia. That's what you do when you worship these wicked pagan hell days that they have, which is Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, which is coming up, and what's it called? Easter and things, and Halloween. Halloween is the witches' Sabbath, and that's that. And everybody knows that Halloween is wicked and the witches' Sabbath and all that. But then the first thing they do is they let their kids celebrate it, and then get mad when their kids then get mad when their kids come up missing and kidnapped on Halloween. Can't get mad at that. You let your kids go out and do and celebrate it. You was right there with them. And now the Christian church is so wicked and filthy, right? That they got they have a trunk or treats, something like that, where people you meet up in the church parking lot, open the trunk, and they give kids candy there, a trunk or treat. So they say they're not celebrating Halloween, but they do trunk or treats. It's just it's wicked and filthy, and it does not deserve to have a voice. That's why the I.S.U.P.K has to be here, man. Somebody has to stand up for Christ, and somebody has to stand up for the Most High, man. Somebody has to stand up for righteousness, man. Somebody has to stand up for it. It can't just be all wickedness and no righteousness on the earth. Somebody has to be righteous on the earth, man. Somebody has to be somebody has to be the voice of the Lord on the earth, man. You know what I mean? 'Cause, like, It's just wickedness and filth and worthy for destruction out here, man. That's all it is. All right, then let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Let's see what we get if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Let's see what we get if we obey our God, man. Let's see what we get. Boy. Here we go. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. It's not even on the screen. What's happening? There it is. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. It says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently." Right? So if you listen diligently, right? If you pay attention diligently, like pay attention, like even when your mama used to say something, like, "You listening?" "Yes, ma'am." Or your daddy used to say something, and it was one of them. It was one of them moments. You had to pay you had to pay attention. You had to pay attention, hearken diligently, man, because this right here could save your life or it could end your life. Real talk. So it says, "And this shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God." Right? What is the voice of the Lord thy God? Where do you find the voice of the Lord thy God? That's a question. I give y'all a second to type it in the chat. Where do you find the voice of the Lord thy God? Where do you find that at? Where do you find the voice of the Lord thy God? You find the voice of the Lord thy God in the Bible. That's this Bible. That's where you find it at. The voice of the Lord thy God. "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments." See, it's not some of his commandments, not a piece of his commandment, not a little bit. It's all of his commandments, and they're called commandments. It's not suggestions like, hey man, do you want to do it? No, he commanded it. It's not like the Christian church with a suggestion box or nothing like that. Either you do this and you live, or you don't do this and you die. It's that simple. It's that simple, man. It's that simple. But he said, to observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. Right? Because he commanded it. He commanded it to us, man. It's an order. Let me say it like that. It's an order. You know what I mean? Since everybody want to join the American military, and they follow those orders, well, follow the orders of the Most High, man. Follow the orders of the Lord, because the Lord gave us orders too. That's an order to keep to do all His commandments, which I command thee this day. It's an order. It's the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. Of course, He give orders. It says that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Right? He's going to set you on high above all nations on the earth. Let's hold that real quick. We're going to hold that, and we're going to get Isaiah 40 or Isaiah 14 and 1. Hey. Got it? All right. All right. This is what it means when it says set thee on high above all nations, right? This is what the Lord is giving us, man. This is the kingdom of heaven right here. It says, for the Lord, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Right? The Lord is going to have mercy on Jacob, man. Jacob is you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. That's who that is, man. That's who it is. Jacob's name was changed to Israel when he wrestled the angel, man. Israel means princes of the power, and Israel had 12 sons. And those 12 sons are where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans descend from. That's where we descend from. That's our bloodline. That's our bloodline. That's why we are one family, man. She says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers, right? So it says, and will yet choose Israel, right? So he's going to choose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's where he chose to put his name at, is on us, right? So that's who he's going to choose. And it's the Lord's right to choose who he wants to choose. Right? Right now they say they say it's a woman's right, a man's right to marry who they want to marry, love who they want to love. Well, it's the Lord's right to love who he wants to love also. It's the Lord's right to love who he can love whoever he want to love. He can choose whoever he wants to choose. You know what I mean? I guess no, that a man can love who he wants to love, and a woman can love whoever he wants to love, but the Lord can't love or choose who he wants to choose, huh? That's not a godly trait. Get out of here, man. Right, but the Lord can choose who he wants to choose, and he chose Israel. He chose Jacob. That's who he's choosing. Am I right? That's who he chooses. That's what it says right here. And will yet choose Israel. That's what it says right here. And set them in their own land. You ain't gonna be in America no more, brother. America's gonna be burnt up with thermonuclear fire. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. You ain't gonna be here. We ain't gonna be in this land. We're gonna be in our own land. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna do whatever we want to do as long as it's lawful. Just like the Sabbath day, man. You do whatever you want to do as long as it's lawful. The Lord didn't give you the Sabbath day to go smoke weed and have sex with whores. The Lord didn't give you the Sabbath day for that, but he did give you the Sabbath day for you. He did give you the Sabbath day for you to do whatever you want to do on that day. So you can so that way you don't have to slave away like you've been slaving away every day here in America. Here under these oppressors, because we've been slaving away every day. Some brothers slave 14 hours a day and still can't pay their rent. And still can't pay, you know what I mean? I'm tired of this oppression. Everybody's tired of this oppression. Of course, we're not tired of this oppression, because then we just go out, have drinks, have sex with whores, do drugs, and it's all okay now. Meanwhile, your son gonna get shot in the back 9 times, man. Meanwhile, your son gonna get shot in the back 9 times, man. That's what happened. They're gonna say it's justified. They're gonna say it's justified. Oh, he had weed, or he had cigarettes, or I don't know. They're gonna say all types of things that he had for a warrant. You get shot in the back for a ticket because you didn't go pay a ticket. Now you're gonna get shot in the back. Ain't that something? Get murdered in the streets, man, like an animal. But it's okay because you get to smoke. We get to smoke a little weed. It's okay because we get to have sex with whores. It's okay because we get to get drunk out of our mind and belligerent. It's okay. That's okay. It's okay if they murder us down in the streets. Long as we get to celebrate Christmas and 4th of July and Easter and go to Fiesta. It's okay as long as we get to party like it's 1999. It's okay. You get your minds right, man. Get your minds right. Get your understanding of life right, man. Because that's not at all right. And then when we bring this out about how we're gonna have slaves, right? Oh no, that's not right. But it's right for them to shoot us in the back. It's right for them to pepper spray your mama. It's right for them to put abortion clinics all in our neighborhood. Get your mamas and your uncles and your grandpas and you addicted to drugs. All that's okay, right? But it's not okay that we get to get our own retribution that the Lord is going to give us. Y'all mind right, man. And black man, if you have a problem with that, man, quit being effeminate and weak. Stand up strong, man. Be a warrior like the Most High wanted you to be. The Most High wanted you to be a warrior. Most High never wanted you to be subservient to another nation. Because verse 14, it says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel." Right? And set them in their own land. And the strangers, wait a minute. Wait, I thought God loved everybody. Somebody strange. I guess the Lord don't love everybody. He made somebody strange. He was like, hey, yeah, y'all strange. Y'all are strange. Hold on one second. Yeah, almost. I got some points, sir. And it says the strangers, right? So the Lord says somebody strange. I thought the Lord loved everybody, right? God loved everybody. If God loved everybody, why he make somebody strange and weird? That's what strange means. Different, opposite, right? So he said, and the strangers will be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, right? So they're going to cleave to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And this ain't the only time that they're going to cleave in the future. They've cleaved to us in the past. They did it for us in the past. Hold on one second. Here it is. I got this Babylon and Timbuktu. Boom, 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 boom. Goodness, these pages stick together. Where's it? 86. Hey, where's this is Babylon and Timbuktu? Oh, this ain't ours. That's why it's not highlighted. Huh? No, this is what's the names? It's on page 86. Oh no, it's right here, page 90. This is page 90 with the black Babylon and Timbuktu. It says the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes, right? Because this is after 70 AD when we fled into Africa after they destroyed the temple in 70 AD. We fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution, fleeing away from Romans. It says the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. So when we went into Africa, we carried the Bible with us. That's what we carried. We carried the Bible with us. We carried our laws and our written records with us. Our culture, our heritage that the Lord gave Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we carried that with us into Africa. Just like over here with the so-called Native American tribes and the Hispanic tribes, right? They were keeping Levitical law right here, So they kept their laws, statutes, and commandments with them, and their written records with them also. It's that simple. And it says, this assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organism. Right? So they had a higher social organism over all the African tribes. That means they were better. They were living better than them. While the Africans was living in the hood and the ghettos, we was living in the suburbs. Let's say it like that. We had the castles and the good land and all that. That's why they had Negroes, Jew land, because we were living in Africa, separate, away from all the Africans. It says because of the stability, right? That's how you become stable, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. It says it's not assimilating into American culture and voting. That's not how you become stable. You become stable by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. It says because of the stability of the Black Jewish culture, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. So some of them, the native tribes, cleaved unto the house of Jacob. They wanted to cleave unto us because that's where greatness is. That's where greatness is with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. America wouldn't be jack nothing if it wasn't for them having Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in captivity. They'll just now be putting the railroads together. If they didn't have all that free labor, they wouldn't have went to the moon. They wouldn't have toilets, no stoplights, no peanut butter. They wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They didn't invent anything except for the patent office. That is the only thing that they invented, was the patent office. So these other nations, these heathen nations, these strangers that the Lord is talking about, they wouldn't have anything if they didn't cleave onto the house of Jacob. And now they just won't let us go. They just won't let us go. Verse 2, right? The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 2. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, right? Because we're on high above all nations. So of all nations, if they be taking them to their place, that means they're on low. They're second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth class citizens. Just like they made us, that's how the Lord gonna have it with them. We're going to be on top of them, ruling. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. The possession, if I say, that's my car, that's my possession. If I say, yeah, that's my shirt, that's my possession. That's mine. Possession is to own, basically. That's what possession means, to own it. We own them. Just like they owned us back in slavery time. It was like, yeah, that's my slave. We'll pay me this much for that, Negro. Right? It says, shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Just like your great grandmama served them, they're gonna serve us. Right. They're gonna serve us. That's real deal Holyfield. There's no games. We had to serve them. They have to serve us. And for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives. Right? We should take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Right? I don't know if y'all know what ruling is, but ruling is setting the standard of which another people shall live. Just like we're in America and we have to follow American laws, or we're going to go to jail, they're going to have to follow God's laws. Right. They're going to have to follow what the Lord says. That's what they're going to have to do. And that's real deal Holyfield, man. That is not a game. That is in the Bible. If God loves everybody, why would he put that in the Bible? Somebody's lying. And with that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth since 1969. That's shalom.